Jamie here. We have Amanda King. She's the owner of Therapies of the Rockies, and excited to have her explain a little bit about her business and what she's doing to shift her business for current needs in our situation. So Amanda, thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Can you explain a little bit about your business, kind of the background beforehand, and then we'll get into what you're doing moving forward?
Absolutely. So I founded Therapies of the Rockies in 2008. I am a speech therapist, and I just really felt like the people in Denver, their needs were not being met. And I wanted there to be an option besides going to a hospital facility. So I founded Therapies of the Rockies, and we started out just providing speech therapy, specifically to pediatrics. And 11 years later now, we have expanded our practice not only to speech, but also to physical and occupational therapy, as well as we treat adults now. So we're very happy about that. We've been really excited about the growth we've seen. And then obviously, we've hit a little bump in the road with COVID-19, and we've had to change our business model a little bit.
So how many people do you have on your staff?
We currently employ 23 people. We have 20 therapists, and we also have 3 practice managers. They are the backbone of our practice. They definitely paddle the ship, and they help schedule our appointments. Currently, they're helping our telepractice clients schedule those meetings and learn how to use the program.
So explain a little bit about the shift you've made and how you've implemented that.
Of course. So we made the change about 5 years ago to offer telepractice. It was very new on the field, and we felt like it was something we really needed to explore and educate ourselves on. So not only did we do continuing education, but we also have the platform to do HIPAA compliant telepractice on. So it's not FaceTime, it's not Skype, it's an actual platform where you can provide HIPAA compliant therapy. And so we have been offering that option for 5 years, and we are very well versed in it. However, we have seen a huge shift recently, especially with shelter in place order. And even, a lot of our families, they come in this to therapy with 3 or 4 siblings.
Right.
Or you'll have mom bring in grandma, and we need to keep our patients safe. So not only did we implement some hygiene and cleaning at our office, but we really made the shift basically in 48 hours to offer telepractice to all of our clients. We actually had 500 appointments this past week for telepractice.
Wow. So before all of this, what would you say your average telepractice clients like weekly scheduling look like? Did you have?
Oh goodness, we had like 10. It just was not a very popular option. I think it's because a lot of people were really unsure of it. They were nervous about losing that patient and clinician interaction. And it's been amazing to see our patients give us feedback like, wow, I had no idea it could be like this. Little Johnny did sit for 30 minutes, or he wiggled, but goodness, he learned a lot too.
Right.
So we've been very happy.
Well, that's awesome that you've had it kind of at least in some level, of implementation previous. So it wasn't quite as big of a jump to be.
Exactly. Our clinicians were already trained. They were willing to jump in, and we just had to kind of train our parents or our patients on the platform how to do it. But we have an IT person, and he really stepped up, and he made us these charts with very minimal instructions to help our patients, because let's be honest, there's a lot going on right now. And while therapy is very important and we don't ever want a patient to regress or not have progress, we have parents losing jobs. We have people worried about their mom and dad in a nursing home. So we understood that, and we tried to do everything we could to streamline our process.
So is your location still open?
We are. We are seeing very few people, but for our patients that it's medically necessary. So potentially somebody with aphasia. So they're really not safe in the home by themselves. They're not communicating appropriately. We would still provide that service to them because it is medically necessary. However, 95% of our patients can and should be on telepractice.
So when people work with you, do they come directly to you, or is it something they have to be referred to by a physician?
You know, it kind of depends on insurance. We will have some parents call us and say, little Johnny gets services at school, but I really want more intervention. And we will just call the insurance company if they want to use insurance. A lot of times they cover it. Sometimes we'll just have a mom call in for an evaluation. And then once we eval and identify the kiddo as requiring services, we then fax it to the physician, and then the physician will sign off on it.
Okay. So with this shift in the last week or two, have you seen, now being online, have you seen it increase? Like, are you getting new patients out of it with this?
We are getting new patients. Yes. If I'm being completely honest, we are not seeing the exact number of patients that we were pre-COVID-19. However, we have been able to sustain our practice, and I'm really proud to say we have not laid off one therapist. We are maintaining, we are going to weather this storm, and we're going to come out stronger for it.
That's so cool. To other people in the same industries and similar industries, what advice do you have to them that's really been helpful for you in implementing this and helping make sure that you're not having to do layoffs?
I think when you enter the healthcare field, you have to understand that this is a volatile field. I think a lot of lay people look at healthcare as maybe a stagnant platform where you will always have a job, we will always need healthcare. And yes, that is true. However, you have to be flexible. You have to change with the times. Even with insurance, for example, that one day they cover something, the next day they don't, or they cover speech therapy, but there are a couple of caveats in which they will not. So I think you just have to come into the mindset that you're going to be flexible, you have to be strong, and your patient care is number one. That is your focus. If you don't do good patient care, you won't make it. So if you always put your patients first, and also I put my therapists above me too. I think patients are going to come for the very, very best therapy. If you provide the best therapists, then your patients are going to come. So if you take care of other people, you're a good person, and your number one focus is client satisfaction and your patients making it, then you'll be good. But you've got to have that confidence and that ability to swing in whatever direction that you need to whenever.
Right. And I'm sorry, how long have you guys been open?
So we opened our doors in 2008, and that was just me. So I'm like, what day is it? I think we just, where am I? So we've been open for 12 years now.
Wow. And out of the therapists, starting from just you to now, how long have the people you have on board been with you? Has it been quite a while?
So we've consistently had 20 people now for about 8 years.
Wow. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
that's your own little community there.
It really is. And we do not have a lot of turnover. We call ourselves a family. Therapies of the Rockies is a little family. We help each other out. We actually had 6 babies last year at Therapies of the Rockies. So that was fun. There was definitely something in the water, but all the moms came back after maternity, which is something I take a lot of pride in. I have 2 kids. I know how hard it is to juggle. And I think being a woman-owned company, especially by a mom too, I gave them a lot of grace. I gave them the time that they and their family needed to recover, and they came back, and there was a sense of loyalty, I think, to Therapies of the Rockies as well.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think that's a great thing to be able to have a position where you guys are making it work for everyone. We're all going through this. A struggle in the shifting, and different industries are doing better and worse with it, but to be able to keep everybody you have when you have you have a good sized staff.
Yes.
So to be able to keep everyone on, what have your conversations been with your team, and how have you been addressing things? And are you guys meeting regularly to brainstorm and make sure things are moving forward correctly?
Yes. Sorry, we're printing out something right now.
Oh, no worries.
Yeah, so what we're doing is we've implemented Friday meetings. We had our first meeting last Friday, in which I'm just a very honest, transparent person. And again, I think if you treat people with respect, they will respect you in turn. And I just said, I'm going to let you know, we're going to maintain salary right now. I'm going to do everything I can. I've taken myself out of the equation. I applied for a small business loan. I applied for a loan with my bank just to kind of keep us rolling, and just told everybody that I'm in the trenches with them. And this is going to be, all hands on deck. We're going to have to try. And also, I want suggestions. If they feel something is working or not working, come to me. Let's give the best patient care that we can during this time. There will be an end. I wish we knew when. And that would ease a lot of stress and anxiety. But there will be an end in sight, and we will come out stronger and better. And I hope and pray that our patients will also see that and come back and or get new patients when they hear how well we've handled a terrible situation.
Right. Yeah, and I think we're all going through a lot right now trying to navigate this situation. But I think the businesses that figure out how to do this now and can stay afloat are going to do really well long term, because they're shifting their business for what comes. And I think a lot of this is going to provide them opportunities for different segments of their business that really they weren't focused on or didn't ever even think of.
I
That
agree.
could actually be long term, like really good options for their business. So, like for you guys, do you see once this is all done, you guys are going to have this great online platform going? Will you continue, doing that? And do you think a lot of your patients will continue in that capacity?
I really, truly think that a fair amount of our patients are going to maintain the teletherapy. I think, again, there was a lot of uncertainty with how effective the therapy could be via the telepractice platform, but I have heard some amazing feedback. And again, if you have dad coming to the office with 3 kids in tow, one's in a wheelchair and the other one has autism, this is a great opportunity to relax, not have the stress, get your therapy in without buckling the kids in the car, going 30 minutes,
Right.
both ways. So again, from the feedback, I do think that we are going to absolutely maintain telepractice. Do we still think there are going to be our clients in our office? Absolutely.
Of course. Yeah. So with, you said you do offer physical therapy as one of,
Yes.
how does that work from an online standpoint?
So we offer some classes. We do strength and balance classes, and we also have a Parkinson's class. And so what we're doing is we're making that interactive. And so that way the patients can still maintain their exercises and all of that. And then we can also send home exercises with the patient and have our physical therapist demonstrate those exercises and then have the patient do it. So of course it's going to independently vary on the, if they have any equipment at home or what. At our physical therapy practice, we really do serve a lot of clients aged, I'd say 65 and over. So as long as you have a chair, you can do some, getting up from the seated position, and you can still do a therapy that way.
That's really cool. With all of the services that you're offering now in the future, so if someone wanted to come see you,
Mhm.
you said they do not need to go to the doctor first. They can come to you, and then you guys can help facilitate that side of it.
Absolutely. We're very well versed in contacting the patient's pediatrician or physician and getting information that way. We also assist with insurance. We use we use a platform in which we can check insurance benefits over the phone from our software. And so we can check the patient's insurance to see what will be covered if they're going to pay through insurance.
So are you seeing, like, I guess with new patients at this point, and maybe it's only been really, a week or so,
Mm-hmm.
so it might not be an effect you're seeing yet, but have you or do you expect to see issues with turnaround times, hearing back from doctors and things like that with new patients?
Actually, no, we have seen a bit of the opposite. The physicians have been very quick to turn around and get information to us. We typically have to have care plans signed by the physician every 90 days just to demonstrate medical necessity and make sure we're compliant. And sometimes it's been a struggle getting those signed and faxed back. And this week we looked at our faxes and we were like, oh my goodness, we have so many. So the physicians have really been on top of it. Again, I think it's all hands on deck, and Colorado and anybody in healthcare, we are just putting our hearts and souls into making sure our patients are served.
Yeah, that's great. So can you give your email, any contact information? So if someone wants to get a hold of you?
Absolutely. So a great way to contact us is info, at therapiesoftherockies.com. And you can also call our office at 303-888-4840. Sarah is our practice manager, and she deals with all incoming phone calls, and she is amazing, and she will help you with whatever need you have.
Very cool. And we'll also, when we put this video out, we'll also put all that information in the description too, so people can find you.
Okay.
So
Awesome. Thank you.
so much for your
And
time.
I'll email that to you just to make sure it came through.
That was great. Yeah, no, thank you. I'd appreciate that. So,
Okay.
well, thank you so much. I appreciate your time.